Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Honorable Dr. Halima Sadia ma'am, esteemed guest of honor rather, Reena Singh ma'am, all my fellow leaders. I am glad to welcome you all at this international forum as we have connected today from different countries and within different time zones. Yet we made it to meet together. I wholeheartedly welcome you all to this 22nd session of Lead or Led by from the platform of Lead House under the auspicious guidance of Dr. Halima Sadia ma'am. So here I welcome you all, Mrs. Neha, Dr. Anara, Fatma Sajda, Engineer Khadija Sajda, and Mudinat, Sayyida Sadiqa Hussain, and Sana Hashmi ma'am. Shabana Kausar ma'am, I welcome you all. So before I start your own introduction, as was proposed by Reena Singh ma'am, I'd like to give a brief introduction of Reena Singh ma'am. So as you can see, our mentor today, a special guest today, Reena Singh ma'am, she actually works at Cuddle House, Faridabad as a principal and trainer. She has been working and serving the society for more than 25 years, and she has brought remarkable changes and transformation in the life of youth as well as teachers, especially of the primary education, early childhood care and education. And she has received many awards at various forums, multiple forums. I welcome you, ma'am, and you are most welcome. Happy to see you all. And shall we go with the individual introduction or?
Thank you, Aisha. I would like to hear, yes, those who are present here.
Yeah, ladies, please give your introduction briefly, one by one.
My name is Modinat Bolande Adenika. I'm from Nigeria and I'm a teacher in Preston School. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to listen to whatever you want to say today to be a beneficial part of my life. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Khadija also has. May I? Hello. May I speak?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good evening, all. Good evening, ma'am. I'm Khadija Salsa Hanam, professor in Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Cuttack campus. So, a participant in this leadership course.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I am Dr. Anara. I am ex-MP and now I am an author and lawyer and mental health advocate in Maldives. And I am giving public lectures since 2007 and advocating Islam. I am traveling to many islands to giving speeches. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Who's left?
Mrs. Neha, Ms. Shabana Kausar, Ms. Sana Hashmi are left.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, good evening, Reena ma'am, and good evening, Halima ma'am.
Evening.
I am Sana Hashmi. I am a teacher by profession. I am aspiring leader, and I wanted to learn more from you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
We have with us Shabana Kausar ma'am as well.
That's wonderful. Who else is there?
Good evening, all.
Yes, please.
My name is Shabana Kausar. I belong to India. Basically, I'm a teacher. I'm working as a principal of school right now.
Great.
As I have two kids, mashallah, they're doing well. One in graduation and one in 10th standard. And one more thing regarding, I love teaching students. Uh, I can see we should do something for the students. This is the reason we are on this platform to learn something to become a great leader. As we improve leadership skills, definitely we can help the students. And my hobby is like gardening and traveling. I like meeting new peoples, and I also love to know about new peoples. The one who meet,
Okay.
and I belong to Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is famous for biryani, so I would like to invite all
Yes.
my
My
members
favorite
on
dish.
this platform to come and visit Hyderabad for beautiful, delicious biryani.
I'm moving on 25th. I'm on a short trip. It is already scheduled. So
Yeah,
after 2
please,
days.
yeah,
Thank
you're
you
most
so much.
welcome,
And
ma'am.
biryani is my favorite. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
That's good to know. Yes, please.
Fatma Khan, would you please like to introduce yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Grieve. Uh, yeah. Did somebody was speaking?
No, you yourself.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Good evening, all. Hello, Reena, ma'am.
I request all the other members to please mute yourself so that we can hear to Fatma Khan clearly.
I'm Fatma Sajda Khanam from India. Presently, I'm residing in Hyderabad. It's a beautiful place, and
Yes.
it'll be a wonderful experience. Like if we get a chance to meet with you and Shabana, ma'am.
Thank you. That would be lovely. Yes.
Inshallah, ma'am. And I'm doing my MBA.
Okay.
And I love to learn new things and add on my skills. I Apart from that, I have a couple of hobbies like stone collection, observing nature, playing games, playing outdoor games, and outing not shopping, enjoying nature. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody else? Or I think
Yes, we have Neha.
Yes.
Neha. Yes.
I am. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. This is Neha Parveen, and I'm basically from India. And I am a teacher by profession and a homemaker also. So, and I'm also a participant of this leadership course.
okay.
That's it.
We
And I
have
love
Sadifa
traveling.
Hussain. Yeah, after that we have Sadifa Hussain.
Thank
She
you.
also raised her hand. Yeah, thank you, Neha.
Great. Nice to know.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Very
Yes.
much, very clear.
Please go.
Good afternoon, our esteemed guest, and good afternoon, Alima ma'am. I'm Saida Sadiqa Hussain. I'm working with State Street. I'm in Hyderabad, India. I have done my PGDM, and it's glad to have your session today. We all are very excited and looking forward to learn more from you, ma'am.
So am I. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, ma'am.
So we all have finished. I am remaining. If you kindly permit, I would like to introduce, or otherwise we'll go ahead. Shall I introduce?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
I am left.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So I am the host today, Aisha Tazeen, Dr. Aisha Tazeen, and I have my PhD in organic chemistry. I have been serving the education sector at various positions since last 25 years. I always successfully say, thank God that I have given a quarter century to the education sector. And I am a blogger, podcaster, and I love leadership and nurturing the leadership skills. And I'm happy to be associated with EduFarm International Academy in general and in specific with Dr. Halima, as I have been learning a lot from her. And in fact, the thing has come in the way that in the morning, if I have any worry, any query, any problem, I think, oh, Lead House is there that I have to join, and I will remove all my worries and enjoy with my friends there. So that kind of fascination we have developed with the Lead House. So that is what my brief introduction. Thank you so much.
So good to know. And in fact, each one is an achiever here. And I'm so happy and really feel privileged here. So I'm here to share my thoughts about, I being a leader. So you have done this beautiful program, and in fact, you must be having the last stage of this particular program. So my topic for today is mind your language. So that's a very powerful topic which has been given to me. And I feel that as a leader, as an individual, this topic is not so important just for you being a leader. It's important to maintain our relationship in our family as well. So it's not just about professional world, which is, focusing a lot on communication, the way we communicate in our family, in our friend circle, in our neighborhood, in the society. So this communication is something which is a change maker in the society. So if you want to bring in any change in the society, so like Mahatma Gandhi ji said, that to be the change which you wish to see in the world. And this resonates very clearly in my heart and soul. I always feel that if you give respect to anyone in the world, you earn respect, first of all. So communication is a way to look up to this, the presence of Almighty in every element. Somebody said that why, I had this introduction. This is my general practice. So when I interact with people, I usually see what they are doing in their lives and how do they connect themselves. So somebody said that I love being outdoors, or I love, playing outdoors, or somebody said that, yes, I'm connected to nature. And a few people mentioned about traveling, different courses you are pursuing, you have contributed to the society. So more or less, it is about how do we see ourselves and others. Is there any difference? If I'm a human being, I talk about my communication. If I talk about my thinking, if I talk about my action, everyone has this. Then what is the difference? What are we going to learn from each other? It can't be just one way that I'm sharing my experience with you all so that you learn out of it. But I also learned during your introduction. It's a brief introduction session initially, but I learned a lot about you all. And I feel so empowered that yes, women on this earth are great achievers. And of course, I must say that I'm a bit selfish here, that I always focus on women empowerment. And of course, we can't stand like straight if we don't have this men's support in the society. I totally agree on this. I, being a principal and a trainer in the Cuddle House, means I have a great support of my family, the management, and the parents in the society. All kinds of, backgrounds, they come and they interact and they say, I wish I could afford this kind of fee structure. Yes, so my heart aches. So we deal in a very different concept when it comes to early childhood education, that yes, we are catering to the niche segment of society. Yes, it is about how do you integrate sensory integration. So, at a very young age, when you talk about early childhood education, it's about experiences. So what you are doing now in your life, if you go backwards, if you see your childhood, somewhere the blueprint has been laid out already. You are just imprinting something, your own story, probably on the basis of those blueprints in your life, 0 to 6 years. So my focus is even the communication, how do we interact with children, that goes deeper in their, subconscious mind. And what they reflect through their conscious mind, that is very important. That how are we laying this imprints in their neurons? The brain is developing. Okay. So when you talk about mind your language, so give me something, one line. What comes in your mind when we say mind your language? This is the topic given, and it should be an interactive session so that we know that we are on the same page. Anybody can give me one word.
Watch before you speak.
Think
Watch
before
before
you
you
speak.
speak. Wonderful.
Think before you speak.
Think before you speak. Bang on. So we have to think. So the beauty of pause. We must take a pause if there is a very difficult situation. In general, we know we don't want to hurt anyone. But if there is a situation which has come like a surprise, suppose you being a leader and somebody has done some blunder in the system or the organization, or some major thing has happened. So of course you are disheartened, your expectations are not being met by this person, but how do you filter it? So you think before speaking anything, but what you can think there in that moment, being a leader.
Like what
Yeah.
you're speaking should resonate with people and it should not hurt them. It should be in a way where people are accepting it. Many times we can say the truth, but with a sugar-coated truth, where people are not hurt also, and what you are trying to convey is being conveyed. I'll just want to share one small instance, if you allow me, ma'am, and it's not
Yes, please.
taking your
Yes,
much
please.
time.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I just come across a person who speaks very rudely. I don't know, it's by nature or it's by or she's doing it willingly. But when the other person takes it in a very harsh way, it's about her nature. Normally whenever she speaks, it's how she is. But when a new person meets her, they might take it in a very negative way. Like, why is it so rudeness in the voice? Because there is we say normally a proverb like, if a boy, it's usually said to a wife, like, your husband, you can please him by the food you give it to him. So to other person, when you want to please him, it will be your words. Like words hit directly to your heart. Physical wounds doesn't pain more than the words which pain,
Absolutely.
which
Bang
break the
on.
heart.
Yes.
So I guess it's much important that we learn the communication properly. Whether it's in the corporate world or it's a personal life. It can make or break a relationship. That is what
Absolutely.
I have learned.
And those harsh words, it's very difficult to take them out from your memory, from your subconscious mind. So it is very important that what we want to receive from others, we have to reflect first. So being an empathetic leader, we have to first have this empathy here in every scenario, every situation, that if that person has done some mistake in my life, if I look back, did I make any mistakes? No one can say that, no, I have done many mistakes in life, probably. So that acceptance is the word. We have to accept the situation. In that acceptance mode, you yourself is, in a forgiving mode. It's okay, you have done mistake, but you learn out of this mistake so that you don't repeat that mistake. And it's not your mistake, it's our mistake. As a leader, we should take the ownership. If something has gone wrong, maybe there is some lack in my training. Maybe this awareness has not yet been developed. Maybe this person is too new to the organization. Maybe this person is very fresh in my team. Maybe I've not touched based on these elements earlier. That's why there is a blunder. So sometimes we just communicate in such a way that it's your mistake. In my school, there's a thumb rule. If anything goes wrong, take the ownership. Even if I ask who has done this, it should be a very difficult situation for me to understand who has done the real mistake. So that's the power of you being one. And that's the power of, even if I'm getting upset on something, I'm just telling my team that who has done this, right? So you as a leader can develop this role in your teammates. So in one situation, the one person is not standing in front of you. The whole team is there who's ready to take this as a responsibility, the joint responsibility. So these are few essential agreements I've tried out over last 20 years being into this leadership role, that this is something unique I've tried out, and this is something out of the box. I've read lots of books on leadership, I've done lots of programs on leadership, I've achieved so many certificates by good universities, but everywhere it was like empathy. But how do I develop this empathy unless I don't have strategies in place? Unless I have not experienced something as a leader, as a teacher also. When I was teaching in the schools, so many times people used to compare, oh, this is the best teacher. I got every year best teacher award. And every parent used to fight that I want to put my child in Reena ma'am's class. And I never had this kind of arrogance, ego, attitude. No. Maybe I'm approachable. Maybe I'm a warm person. Maybe I don't shout on anyone. In my family, people say that I've never seen you in anger. In my school also, in last 25 years, hardly once I shouted on someone. And that was also because somebody has said something very wrong to the guard. Because you feel that he is probably a level low. And I said, no, this is not acceptable. He's doing his job. You never know, in your previous life, you were a guard. How can you disrespect a person? And it's all human errors. We can fix it as a team. So that's where I derived this conclusion that yes, if everybody is one, so if there is a success, everyone is clapping. But if there is a fault happening by one person and team, Everybody pinpoints it. Oh, she has done this. Why? Again, take this pride. Okay, we have done, and next time we will not repeat. How does it sound? How does it sound? Something different? I've tried out, and it is a very fabulous, successful method in my school, and it works brilliantly well. If management asks, oh, the swimming pool is not clean. So yesterday there was a storm. And I said, yes, because morning this person had entered in the campus at 7 o'clock. Since then, he's cleaning the floors. He has not yet reached to the pool. And there's no swimming pool activities scheduled today. It's okay. So now I have a courage to cover up my team as well. They don't have to reach out to my individual in the team. So I'm like a, wall in between. I have that courage to speak the truth because I'm a fearless leader. I proudly say that if there is a truth inside, if your intention is right, if you're trying your level best, then courage automatically comes. Your principles, your honesty, your integrity brings out the best from you. And here your team is watching you as a leader who is a protector, who is a guide, who is a mentor, who can probably shout at the back that, what are you doing? Come on, girls, do this. But in front of, for example, management, nobody can say anything to my teammates. Sorry, I'm there. So if I have that courage to take that load from there, my teachers also have that courage to take that load of one mistake. Look at the environment. It's completely different. Same place, probably if there is a new leader, they'll work in a different manner because every leader, they have their own strategies to play. I won't say that this is right or wrong. Again, it's your individual choice and your own mind, because you have to be mindful. It's a small setup, I can apply. Probably in a bigger setup, I can't apply in the formal school. So it's a preschool, very niche segment of people. Only 15 teachers are there. And then if we have some additional teachers to support my summer camp, there are hardly 20 teachers. So it's a small team, it's a small setup. Now I'm moving to a formal school from June onwards. And my strategies probably would change. Next year, probably I'll be speaking on something else, but I have my plans ready. That what if the team is going to be 350 under me? So I've done it in past when I was heading some other formal schools. That time, of course, it was a pre-primary and primary, but my strategies were different. So when you talk about value education, I used to say that these are beautiful words, but how do you decode these? How do you make it happen? So if you say truth is a very big word. It's like a big concept. You have to again decode it by topics and subtopics. So suppose you are keeping your shoes at the right place, you are maintaining, the timetable, you're following the protocols of being punctual in the school, you are reaching on time. These are the small bits and pieces. You can say that, okay, these are the small steps towards achieving a bigger role of righteous conduct. So it is not possible that if I say love is undercurrent, for me, I feel like, hugging each one of you for what you are today. It is naturally for everyone, every human being, nature, birds, animals. Of course, the snake, I'm a little scared of. But those who are like, I can really hug them. I can touch them in my, if I touch my plants in the morning, I feel great because it's not what you are giving. On the contrary, you are receiving love from everyone. So first you should be in that mold, then do, then say. So for me, first you be, do, and then say. If I want my team to be punctual, so I have to be punctual. If I want my team to be ready with the timetable and following every timeline, using every sensory station. So we have 26 multi-sensory stations. It's very difficult to cover all of them during 1 month. I've created a beautiful infrastructure by giving all the ideas that how we can integrate senses. So at a time, if there is a wet and messy area, so I have a huge bench customized for my learners. So from 1 year to 6 years can play on one particular bench and they can explore concepts around water. It could be flow tensing, it could be evaporation condensation. When they pump, the water comes up and the clouds are there and the water flows down. They can see a tornado is being formed. In one bench, they can see a dam concept. They can see the pressure, the wheels are there. So it is all interwoven. So what I want my team to have one common period where, children can go by their rotation and they can use that bench. And when they work in collaboration, collaboration is the key. So when they work in collaboration, they learn from each other. So the 2 years old probably is just doing float and sink, but they see what others are doing and they pick the words from there. Oh, the pressure is more. We can reduce it. Oh, the clouds are now coming closer. All those words, terminology, language building. So language is the key. How do we learn? We learn out of these 3 elements: environment, communication, and what is the third thing? Relationship. So this relationship, this bond is so important. And if you set the environment, which is like, of course, it's ready to learn, they can dive deeper. It has to be engaging, challenging, age appropriate, stimulating, and interesting. Without having these 5 elements, children don't learn. So we as communicators, we have to communicate with learners, we have to communicate with our teammates, we have to learn with the parents, we have to communicate with the parents and the senior and maybe the freshers. So our communication is one thing which has multiple roles to play. You are one. You are an individual leader, but when you communicate, your communication changes with different set of people. So if you're working in an organization, there you have a big, for example, a team. So in the corporate, the language is slightly different. Their norms are slightly different. In a school setup, it could be different, but the core is same. The core is empathy, empowerment. So the topic is lead or led by. Are we really giving those empowerment to our teammates? I don't shy away by saying, oh, I have a fabulous team of teachers and 1 or 2 teachers are so creative that they create something which even I can't create. It requires courage to accept this in front of everyone. And I clap for them, brilliant, because they dive deeper into understanding. They come up with beautiful ideas. Whole day they are searching on Google. And for me, I always think something out of the box. So when they bring up something on my table and I connect with different strands of learning, I connect with literacy numeracy. So they say, ma'am, this is an extension of our creativity. I said, that's good, because my brain is active. And I feel that if I can't give any more suggestions here, go ahead, it's fine, absolutely great. So I challenge their thinking by picking up those, dots from there, and I pull them like a string, and it's beautiful to learn in collaboration. Yes, somebody raised the hand. Do you want to say something? Or reflect on this, what I've said just now? Any questions so far? Aisha?
Yeah, people who are here can ask the question if you have, but I'm all absolutely fantastic. I'm moving with the flow. I don't have anything. Everything is very clear to me. If any one of you have, actually, in fact, I observed Shabana ma'am, our principal ma'am, was actually clapping for your, achievements. So that is what I observed. And 2-3 hearts I observed from other people during the course of your delivery.
Oh, thank you so much. And I feel that as a mother, every mother is a blessed mom. I feel that motherhood changes you completely. And even if you are a single person, you can be connected with a lot of children. So in my school, if I see 100 children coming, the whole campus looks so vibrant. And I don't see any difference if I pick up any grandchild of my family or if I pick up any child from there. My heart resonates in the same frequency. I don't know why. From my childhood also, I was like this, that I used to go to my tenant's house, used to pick their children. And I never knew my aunts in the neighborhood. They used to make advantage of me being available all the time. Okay, Reena, diaper change karo. Okay, Reena, bottle laga do. Okay, Reena, isko nila do. All those things. So my mom used to say, tumko padna hai, tumko yehi bacche sambhalne hai. So I was a topper right from my school and college days, but I was so attached to children. I don't know why my heart used to ache. God, give me something where, I'm always surrounded with kids. And this is how my wish came true. When my daughter was just 2 years old, Mama, I want to study in a school. And it was a formal school in the society. There was no preschool concept. I'm talking about 27 years ago. And I was so helpless. I started a very first preschool in a garage for the children, those who are just 2 years old. And in no time, I have had 20 children. And then the principal walked in and he said, why don't you create a preschool in the formal school? And that's how my journey began. And I said, sir, I'm just a graduate and a fashion designer. So he said, okay, we will send you for the formal training. So he sent me to Bangalore. That time my daughter was like just moved to the formal school and my son was even younger. And I decided, I had that courage that yes, if I want to be a teacher, like a professional one, I have to choose something at this stage. I requested my mom and my husband, literally handfoldedly, please take care of them. I have to finish this course. And for 1 year, I went to Bangalore for my formal Montessori course. It was tough. I topped the batch. And when I came back, I was a changed person, completely a transformed mom who was so focused around learning at early years. And then I decided, no, there is no to anything at any stage. If I can do this course, keeping my kids little away. And of course, my husband was kind enough. He flew 3 times with my kids because they started telling Mama has become a star. In those days, we didn't have mobile phones. And somebody said, Tumhari mummy gayi, mar gayi. So they started crying, where is my mom? You know, all those things. So my husband decided, okay, I'll bring them here in Bangalore. So he was very kind and very supportive. He's still supportive. But in those times, I definitely wanted that support from him and my mom. So I don't have my in-laws, but yeah. So he supported in a way that I completed my course. And I came back and I set up 4 Montessori labs in that very first formal school. And people from Madhya Pradesh, I trained 300 teachers in the beginning of my career, because Montessori is one way of doing things. And then I decided I will finish my Italian approach, Singapore. So I did a lot of courses parallel to my job. I achieved very good feedback from my mentors, my directors. And in 7 years, in my very first school, I became principal of a pre-primary and primary. And then I moved to NCR when my daughter said, Mama, I'm getting first in all the subjects. I'm getting this, but I want to compete with Delhi students. And that, that ambition somehow drove me here. And then I said, okay, I joined DPS Indrapuram. And they said, sorry, Reena, we don't have a senior position, but you can join as maybe a TRT. And your salary can be taken care of because you're at a very high salary package. I said, okay, no problem. But she said, I'll give you the coordinatorship. That means 12 sections in nursery, 12 sections in KG. It was a tough task. So I said, okay, fine, no problem. But it was a big change. There was a shift. The transition was not smooth. Earlier, I was in a very small township and the schools are fabulous, one DPS, one Satyasai. And when I moved to this place, DPS Indrapuram, the struggle began because my children had to compare the students there in Delhi and then the other place from where, we had come from Madhya Pradesh. Mama, the children are using mobile phones. They are using this makeup and all those things. I said, see, have you seen Lotus? You have to be there and still you can be detached. Your focus has to be your education. And this communication, again, I would emphasize here, you cannot use harsh word. You cannot label those children because you never know. In life, you will come across and you will find these are doing fabulous, great jobs in life, in their careers. So you can't, write some, their stories. It has yet to uncovered like this with time. So they respected the whole lot of students, the teachers and everything, the whole environment. But I did one plus thing in their life. I put them in music. So my son started learning keyboard, my daughter started learning guitar and Western vocal. So that was kind of peaceful evenings in their lives. That's how they balanced their personality. And they grew up and my son moved to Singapore for higher education, in fact, higher schooling, 11th and 12th. He cracked one exam, CI Youth Scholarship Program. So he got 100% scholarship in 11th grade. My daughter moved to Jindal Global Law School, BLLB, dual program. So after that, she said, I want to crack Cambridge for my master's. And with great fortune, she cracked that one seat, which was globally available, just one. And she did master's from Cambridge in human rights. And then my son completed his education in India because after completing schooling, he came back to India and he finished engineering from NIT Delhi. BTech, and so he got a placement in very good company, and then KPMG Global Services hired him as data scientist. So this year he has moved to Boston US, for pursuing masters in data science. And my daughter got selected by world's best legal firm, Baker McKenzie, and they asked her to do double masters, further 2 more masters in 1 year's time. And that was the toughest challenge for her, that you have to finish these 2 courses and you have to score at least 75%. So you can imagine the amount of work she had taken this challenge, and she finished that with more than 75. She topped the batches. So she did triple masters. By 30, she was a certified solicitor in London. So that's a beautiful journey so far. And my husband also grew up in his career. I became a principal after completing 4 years in DPS. Again, I got another chance in preschool segment. And then I became a principal, and I decided to do something different in early years, which is not yet explored, not yet offered to the society in the right way. So by then I had finished so many courses, advanced diploma in value education, research on rhymes, and then a lot of courses, Italian approach, Regia Emilia certification. So I incorporated all the practices and launched a school by the name of Gen-Next in Noida. In no time, in 6 months' time, we achieved break-even, and it was a talk of town that, oh, how come there's a brilliant infrastructure with a fabulous approach has come. And thank you so much for showering so much love. And then we started our daycare with a live video streaming, because a lot of working mothers, they used to come and, ma'am, I'm leaving my child for 8 and 10 hours in your school. I said, no problem, we can have live video streaming and you can see from your offices. So I took the challenge, that courage I had, okay, fine. And of course, I asked my team, are you okay? They said, yes, ma'am, we are confident. Under your leadership, we are safe. So I said, yes, we all are one. Don't feel that I'm putting cameras on your head. I will put camera in my room as well. It's okay if they want to watch me as well. It's fine. So, again, togetherness, the collaboration. They should not feel that they are something different. They are a part of you. And we took this challenge, and 6 months' time, my interview got published in Times of India that this is a school with a difference. And then I got a call from Pathways. This is #1 IB school in NCR, that we want to hire you as a founder principal for our very first preschool. And we have plans to expand it to 2 or more branches. And I took up the challenge that, yes, IB is again a very different field and I need to dive deeper into this segment. I started working with Pathways, and I felt so great and so humbled with the best organization ever. And they helped me to have this PYP certification. So I'm a certified mentor for PYP as well. And they also sponsored for my international travel. I visited Australia, I visited UK, just to explore different schools and how is it different than us and what we can do as, one part of the society. And further on this, when I completed 6-year journey, my daughter got married in London. She married to a Britisher. And then, so that time I thought that I should do something for another city. And I got a call from Faridabad. So in Faridabad, again, I was not hoping this outcome. It was absolutely a question mark for me, that how these people in Faridabad will accept this as a different concept. So we started following IEYC, International Earliest Curriculum, which is UK based. It's quite similar to IB, but of course the concept remains same. 2 + 2 will always 4, but how do you offer it to children? How do you offer this float and sing concept? So everything is through sensorial material, everything is through sensorially oriented stations, and how they can incorporate fine motor, gross motor, all those cognitive communication skills. So when you say this lockdown happened and we couldn't start our school, but I launched it, virtually. And we have had 40 children even on virtual platform, because we showcase that this is our projection, this is how the school is going to be. And next year onwards, so it's running with full strength. And though we are charging the highest fee in the city, but again, there's a wait list, and in our summer camp, 70 students join. So again, this is a beautiful theme we have picked for the summer camp. It should be fun-based learning. So a lot of things. Thank you so much for listening to this conversation so patiently. Please feel free to ask questions. Yeah.
I'm really happy and delighted, more than delighted to know your story.
Thank you.
And your
Thank
story
you.
is nothing but all the successful consequences of the beautiful stages of your life where you have shown individual growth, growth of the family, and growth of the society and community. Just tell me, how could you maintain this balance in the three spectrum where you are developing, your children are developing, and the community is also developing? Tell me the three traits which have led you to this level.
Good question asked. So for me, somebody said that please teach us some tips where we can be great. I would answer that first, which is probably linking up with this question, that it is enough to be good. You don't have to be great. I always taught my children directly or indirectly, whenever they used to score, even if less in any particular subject, I never used to say, oh, why this less? No. Oh, you've got 83 out of 100. Oh, show me what all you have achieved. That is the difference. So focus on the strength. Weakness will, it's just a byproduct. It will come. But how they can overcome, that will build through their strengths. I mean, you need to be patient. You are a parent, you are a teacher too. So at every stage, every human being on this earth has a capacity to be the best teacher, be it father or a mother or an uncle or an aunt, anybody. Because in that given situation, that's your test, not the child's test. How patient you are. So my daughter says that, Mama, you just scolded me once. And that was very bad, the way you scolded me. And she remembers it until now. So one day she went with an aunt in the market. She said, she's so gorgeous. I want to take your daughter for the shopping. I said, okay. So I was prepared for this test. When she came back, she had lots of chocolates in her hand. And that was the day I scolded her. I said, you asked aunt to give you chocolates? Auntie asked me, बेटा तुमको चॉकलेट चाहिए? तो मैंने बोला ठीक है. तो आंटी ने मुझे एक के बाद एक चॉकलेट पकड़ा दी. I said, okay. आंटी ने पकड़ा दी और आपने ले ली. क्यों? Greed. जरूरत नहीं है, हमारे घर में सब कुछ है. एक ले लेते, ठीक है, आंटी का रिस्पेक्ट करना था. And of course, my volume was not that soft. I was like literally shouting on her because she somewhere, disappointed me. So I was a bit sad. I was in fact had my tears that this was a test. Maybe I am a failure. So I didn't shout on her. In fact, I was feeling pity on me that somewhere in my learning or teaching, there is some gap. And she beautifully, she wiped my tears. Mama, nahi ro, ab main aisa nahi karungi. Mama, fir kabhi nahi. And she remembers till date, she carries the whole suitcase. She was here in India. She's still there in Hyderabad to attend a wedding. She carried full bag of gifts. So her nature is just give, give, give. If somebody gives her a gift, she would accept it like this. But her intention is always giving. So if any form of God has given you, empowered you this way, you should always nurture others. Could be plants, could be animals, could be human beings, could be anything. So first thing is you should be good enough so that journey is easier to become great. Second is your self-regulatory skills. So I aligned my both kids that how you can bifurcate syllabus. At the age of 4 or 5 or 6, when I came back, I taught them how a teacher plans for the entire year, term-wise. And my neighborhood friends, they were like, oh, are you crazy? बच्चों को syllabus समझा रहे हो पूरे साल का? मैंने कहा पढ़ा नहीं रही. I'm telling them how to plan things in advance. So in half yearlies, this much curriculum will come. In quarterly, this much curriculum will be covered. In weekly test, only this much is required. So the planning you have to teach your children. Because in life, they have to do a problem solving skills. They have to practice it now, not later. So the problem is here, but if you don't decode it now, it in an appropriate way, of course, it shouldn't be like an overdose, but gradually you prepare them. So right from grade 1 till 4, I did this with them. Then I left completely. No tuitions, never, never ever. If you feel somewhere you need additional help, go to the teacher. Nobody will refuse to a sincere student. And believe me, it worked. Third, the most important tip is when you are in a class, the teacher will give you 100%. Just receive it in one go. If they repeat second time, if they repeat third time, it is for the ones those who have not yet listened carefully. So in one go, one attention, one focus. So again, focus has to be there. And how do you develop? So they started telling me, Mama, it's so boring when the teacher repeats it 2 times, 3 times. I feel like going to the library because मैंने पहली बार में सुन लिया, समझ लिया. I've made my notes. So this is again a skill which you need to develop, which is not written in the books, which is not written. It's my, again, I'm blessed that somewhere, it just comes, it just appears. And when I tried out, yes, these are the things just happened for the good. So they are good human beings, they are focused, they are doing brilliantly well in their careers. And I wish the same for everyone in their individual life or the family or wherever they are in the organization. So personal and professional. I never say that you have to detach. It is impossible. It will go hand in hand. If your family has disturbed you in some way or we have disturbed someone, it is again in subconscious mind and it disturbs the whole balance. So moderation is the key in communication, moderation in approach, moderation in focus, and gradually you can increase it to the level wherever you want to take it. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. I have understood very well and hope all my fellow leaders also have understood. Now, if anyone has to raise any question to ask and to get your quench of thirst, here is the river with us, flowing, dynamic. Please go ahead.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Reena,
Yes.
ma'am. I would like to ask a question about, of course, teenager children. As we all know, to handle teenager child is a hard nut to crack. So, what are the basic things that we should keep in our minds, that how to handle the friend circle and how to handle their communication with their friends? As you easily know, that these days they are connected in different ways. So some we can see, some we can put our focus, but sometimes we miss that what kind of conversation they are having and their friends are good to them. As you said that we cannot judge any of the co student or friend, because you never know. So this is my first question, and
Yeah.
the second question is, what is research of rhymes?
Yes, great.
Okay.
So
Thank you so
I'll
much.
answer the first question first. And sorry, there is another meeting lined up around 9. So I'll just be quick with my answer. So teenage issues, it's very common and I address them in my different workshops. So that is a very detailed topic and I cover them in a different manner. So best thing would be keep them occupied, constructively engaged, because we focus on where are they lacking, but we don't focus on the strength they are having. They have so much energy that we can channelize their energy by giving them projects, by giving them different tasks. So if you are facing any challenges, be it communication or if they are doing something wrong on social media platform, give them a challenge that, okay, you are working on a project, go in your society, do research on maybe 100 families or 50 families, depending on the size you want to decide, and take the download and how many families are facing this challenge, how many hours they are on the device. So the mobile phone gives you a data that, okay, you did screening for 3 hours or 4 hours. So this data you need to record and you work on this project. You are empowering them, even if they are also one of the culprits, even if they are doing a mistake. So you have to focus on their strength and make it, so it is like a different process. Rather than talking about this, you are adding up in their responsibility. So switch their focus on that. So as a teenager, I used to ask my own children that, okay, you start learning music. Again, I said that balanced it out completely. Their focus was on, oh, how children are dressing up, how they are talking, how their hairstyle. It completely shifted to, oh my God, I have to learn this lesson. Sir, mujhe next class mein puchne wale hain, tumne guitar practice kiya hai nahi. So this is how. So you have to shift their focus towards some creative arts, performing arts. And then you empower them by giving them projects. Do some survey and ask them to write. Somebody is a blogger here. Ask them to write a small blog. Ask them to write an article on this. So I did research on rhymes because I, as a child, used to be very curious that Mary had a little lamb. Why is it still, going on? So London Bridge is falling down. Does it make any sense to me? No. we should do some rhymes in the class which make sense, love and care, share. So that was a topic given to me when I was doing my advanced diploma course in value education by the director, that topic do you want to pick? I said, so you give me a topic. So he was like, very intuitive, and he said, you are a good singer. Why don't you pick up rhymes as a subject, do research, write your own rhymes. So he gave me an assignment that I have to write 150 rhymes. And then I did studio recording in Mumbai with a very famous singer. So it was a fabulous experience. In 46 days, I had to compile so many rhymes, and we produced our own CDs, which is available only at that center. I cannot sell it at individual capacity. So it is available, and part 1 and part 2, we made 2 series for.
And where can I find that?
So this is Shri Satya Sai Organization, Andheri West. So that's available. Probably I can share it with Halima ma'am. That value songs, so level 1 and 2. Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you for your kind messages.
Yeah, before we leave, even we have 10 minutes left. Just one simple question. Just now you said that you were a singer. So 2 lines we would love to hear from you. 2 lines. You have to sing.
Singing. Oh,
You said just now you are a singer, so we would love to listen to you.
now my voice is not that great.
No, it's really
used to
soothing.
be.
I am observing the voice modulation right from the beginning, and I am comparing with mine. So where are the areas where I could go and improve? Honestly.
Oh, you have given me a tough task. Really. अब मैं आप ही लोगों के लिए कुछ सुना देती हूँ.
Please.
सुना? अरे तो मुझे कोई बोल देता है तो मुझसे कुछ नहीं होता.
any motivational thing, or you think that is better for us? It's all up to you.
प्रेम ईश्वर है, ईश्वर प्रेम है, हर धड़कन में तू ही समा है, तू ही प्रेम है. राम रहीम कृष्ण करीम ज़हरा श्री यीशु नानक, कोई भी नाम जप ले रे मनवा, ईश्वर एक है. प्रेम अल्लाह है, प्रेम अल्लाह है. Thank you.
Very thoughtful, very
Fabulous,
thoughtful.
ma'am, fabulous.
And you know, I'm really happy that G20 Summit says Vasudeva Kutumbakam, and you have really matched your lyrics with it. Salute,
Thank
madam.
you.
Salute.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, somebody has passed this remark. Well, my voice is not so great. Thank you. And
Yes.
I'm really humbled with this fabulous audience and this session, and you have been a great host. And I didn't miss Halima ma'am, surprisingly today. So credit goes to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we would be connected.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
See you, inshallah, in the next session. Yes, dear ladies, now what next? We would.
Are we wrapping up?
Yeah. Just let
Other
me
meeting
have
is-
a. Yeah. My
Is
dear, let
meeting
me
over?
have- No. Just a minute.
Okay.
Let me conclude. I need to know from Halima ma'am. She is definitely there here, but whether she will give us the permission to wrap up, or still anybody has to share anything, most welcome. Meanwhile, I'll ask ma'am. Ma'am, are you there? And will you please guide us to wrap up? Or
Ma'am,
what?
did you hear the place that that Reena ma'am mentioned, where we can find that rhyme research?
Yeah, she said Shri Satya Rai music.
Satyanarayan Andheri. Satyanarayan Andheri.
Andheri West. Andheri West. Yeah. Halima ma'am, if you are there, should we wrap up? And here we have the brilliant people who can say us what shall we do. Shobana Kausar ma'am and Dr. Anara ma'am, Sarajpur ma'am.
Yes, if somebody wants to say, they can discuss. Otherwise, we'll end the meeting.
Yeah. Please come up if you want to say something. Share
The
your.
one thing I understood from the communication is being a leader, it can be leader, whatever thing is your duty to listen to somebody properly. And you should communicate because you are a bridge between management and the teacher. Try to communicate well and you should be brave enough to say the truth. Truth is very important because sometimes what happens to hide something of teachers, all this thing will lie sometimes. That is not important. Always try to speak truth. Be courageous, be brave enough to say the truth and see that things goes properly. So communication is not only just speaking language, it is the moment you should think so many times, like 12 times, to whom you're speaking, why you're speaking, where you're speaking, what the reason for speaking, what person thinks about you when you speak. So all these things count a lot when you speak. So I understood this from this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your very comprehensive details and all word to word. Your analysis given was really fantastic and it was heartening really. And you know, when you were telling that you have to be very careful to whom you are speaking, how to speak, what to speak, when to speak, how much to speak. One of my colleagues here, Ishat ma'am, her name is Ishat, she's from Bangalore and I am from Hyderabad. We often meet in the school and she's a physical education teacher. She always, I have a very good habit of taking feedbacks. And I said, ma'am, would you like to give the feedback? Believe me, 8 years before I took this feedback, before becoming the officiating headmistress, she said, Aisha, my dad used to say, please move this 2 kg brain, but don't move this just 2 grams of or 20 grams of the tongue. When we compare the weight of the tongue with the brain or the head, complete skull and head and brain, so that is nearly 2 kg, for example. But in front of that, the tongue is really less, right? So when it times to come, nod your head before you move your tongue. So really it works sometimes, you know. Just nod, don't speak. Khalas, your situation is done. I mean, I have experimented it.
And sometimes reply should not be reaction.
Yes, it should be a response. Correct. So, Engineer Khadija and Fatma Sajda and Sayeda Sadiqa Hussain, the leaders of the day, do you have anything to speak? We are ready to listen.
Aisha, I realized that there are a lot of points and new ideas that Reena ma'am gave us, like giving a project to teenagers and giving them a busy schedule work. And that is, I think, a very important point, because nowadays after school also there are a lot of children, they are living with games and very lazy sometimes. But if if parents giving them jobs and doing things in home even, or projects in computer, then they will be very, I think they can do all that. That is a very good idea.
The purpose is make them to occupied every time.
Yeah.
Occupied with study or some kind of project.
Yes.
To make them effectively engaged, constructively engaged, or effectively engaged. Very nice point, ma'am, really. And what about the leaders of the day? No leader is ready to speak. 3 leaders of the day are there. Khadija is there, Fatma Sajda, and
I spoke.
Yeah, you too.
We
Do you have anything to say, or we shall wrap up?
Our team, mashallah, become leader of the day. After seeing that poster, which we having photos in that poster, I'm feeling so good, alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the person, Sana ma'am and Fatima sister, both having same time, mashallah. इसका मतलब क्या है ना कि हम तीनों का दिल मिला हुआ था अल्लाह का
That was a competition. That was a competition.
One could smell it. One could smell and see it, and that was really healthy competition. That really makes me happy. Acha, what about Fatma Sajda? Ma'am, would you like to say something? Fatma Sajda?
Yeah, it was really a wonderful experience to attend Reena's ma'am session. The way she delivered nice points she covered, alhamdulillah. And I'm happy, like, I joined and I'm able to listen. Yes, basically the involvement makes a person very, active. Like nowadays there is a summer vacation going on, so uh, people, basically kids, they do a lot of make a hass and buzz, so it's nice to make them engage, and they will be also be active and awake, alert, and yeah, the it's like the overall surrounding will be good. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
And the session was really amazing, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
And Aisha, ma'am,
I
the
must say,
hosting was also very good.
the host
yes,
is
my
a
dear.
wonderful. This session is hosted
Yes,
wonderfully.
Okay,
yes.
thank you, madam. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And Engineer Khadija has spoken. Now, Sayyida Sadiqa Hussain, do you have to speak or still you are in the office? Sadiqa, are you there with us? So, shall we wrap up? She is not responding. In office, yeah, she wrote. In office. Okay, fine, fine. Be in the office. Barakallah feek, no problem. We shall wrap up then. Yes, madams, with your kind
Yes, why
permission.
not? Why
Yeah,
not?
thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for
much.
being with me today. And we all really enjoyed. And we have learnt a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank
Last
you.
Thank
days.
you so much.
See you tomorrow.
Love it.